Today we're going to be talking about, well, a viral video that has started a whole lot of discourse. And where I stand on this discourse is honestly pretty complicated and maybe a little bit more nuanced than I've seen the majority of public figures talking about this video engage in, okay? I feel like I've got a bit more of a nuanced opinion on it. So let's go ahead and hop into it, okay? So if you've been on Twitter or TikTok or probably YouTube as well for the last few days, you have probably seen discourse surrounding this video. Now, my chat was able to find a link to the original, or to the video that was re-uploaded, but just to give you, like, an idea of the, the discussion around all of this going in, this video is captioned, "Lamau, these girls need to get over themselves. She's not attractive. It doesn't look like she even works out. When you're in the gym, people are going to look at you for a few seconds. It doesn't mean they want you. They're not staring. Shut the fuck up and stop recording." So the whole "you're not even attractive" thing coming from the... that's a pretty standard incel response to, like, women on the internet they don't like for any given reason, right? So you can imagine the incel presence in this entire discourse has kind of flipped everything into a very black and white situation. It seems like a lot of people either have to be in support of everything that she is, doing here, or completely against her, thinking she's a massive piece of shit. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of context before we go into this, okay? This content creator is a TikToker, and something you need to know about TikTok, if you don't already, is that TikTok is basically a mental illness factory, okay? TikTok basically contains some of the most puritanical, backwards, overly, sensitive, insane people you will see. It is a mix of teenagers and adults who act like teenagers. And they're just feeding each other with negative and positive reinforcement for this behavior, okay? And so you're going to see references, memes, and other behavior here that are indicative of some really weird shit, right? So for those of you guys that don't know, a very popular trend on TikTok is the, preventing yourself from being, stalked or kidnapped community. That's really the only word, that's the only description I know for it. It's these women who will literally do TikToks where they're, going into hotel rooms and saying, "You see that? You see, if you don't see two layers of reflection in the glass, then it's one-way glass. And you can actually see that there's actually someone on the other side looking at you. And while you're changing, you're being looked at by people on the other side of the one-way glass. It's like those TikToks. Have you seen those? If you guys haven't seen those, at least one of you haven't. I gotta show you this shit. Christ, this is a genre of content? Oh, you guys don't know. Okay, Robert Tolpe did a great video on it. I need to show the Robert Tolpe video. Okay, yeah. Robert Tolpe, no, you weren't almost trafficked at Walmart.
Hi.
Okay, I don't know how much of this I really want to show, just because it's another content creator's video and it's not really, too relevant to what we're talking about, but I really need to get you guys into the mindset of understanding how antisocial and deranged some people on TikTok are, and how much fear porn just permeates into TikTok culture. Go ahead and check this out.
Hi, I'm Robert Tolpe, and today I'm talking about women on TikTok who claim to have survived a kidnapping or trafficking attempt when going about their daily lives. These videos are all over TikTok, but I worry that the stories these women are telling may be contributing to mass paranoia and panic about being kidnapped by strangers. This paranoia seems to have started a cycle, where women, after seeing videos about trafficking on TikTok, become freaked out by otherwise unusual but not explicitly threatening situations and take to social media making incredibly serious claims about trafficking in their town with zero evidence to back it up, further contributing to the body of alarmist content and misinformation online. Back in 2016, the YouTube story time was all the rage, where creators like Tana Mojo told embellished accounts of their otherwise uninteresting day-to-day experiences. We remember these videos as being borderline fictional and overly dramatic, with the quintessential example being the "My Uber driver almost kidnapped me" video, which has been made and remixed by almost every storytime creator that has ever had a platform online. Looking back, we can laugh at these creators who were able to spin a wild tale out of a mundane occurrence, where their rideshare driver took a few wrong turns and they were freaked out. But recently, there has been a revival of the storytime genre. Only this time around, things have gotten very serious. Now, young women all over TikTok claim to have narrowly escaped a kidnapping attempt, which sounds very alarming until you realize that their experience of almost being trafficked consists of feeling uncomfortable about a man looking at them weird, instead of the internet being...
When did this video come out again? 2 months ago. This video is 2 months old, by the way. This is a 2-month-old video. This happened well before what we're going to be talking about today.
Skeptical about their stories, the comment sections of these videos are filled with other women expressing their concern for the creator and sounding the alarm about the rise of trafficking attempts made by strangers. But is any of this concern and panic actually warranted? I'll show you some parts of a video made by a creator named Gracie, where she claims to have been almost kidnapped at Walmart.
Y'all, I am literally shaking right now. So I almost just got kidnapped at Walmart.
But what was this grand kidnapping attempt that she is talking about? Did someone grab her and try to throw her in a van? Well, not exactly.
I glanced over and there was a man about 15, 20 feet away from me, and he was just staring at me. And we even locked eyes. I caught him staring, and he didn't even look away. He just kept staring at me. And so I looked away, and the moment that I felt him kind of shift his position, I bolted and I went to the other side of the store.
So a man was staring at her and he shifted his weight and she bolted across the store. The man made no further kidnapping attempts and she got home safely and completely unscathed. Local news reported that the police reviewed the security tapes, revealing that the man in question was just a random dude shopping with his family and not, in fact, a kidnapper. Essentially, nothing of interest happened. This story is representative of many others like it, which follow a similar format. And so is the comment section of the video, where people express that they are happy the creator is okay and that their reaction was entirely justified and proportional to the situation. It's easy to say that the creator overreacted, but I realize that hindsight is 20/20, and for that reason, I don't judge the creator for being cautious and concerned for her safety. I do judge the creator, however, for making an entirely unsubstantiated claim that she was almost trafficked.
Here, I want to see if I can skip ahead to the part, I just want to show some of the insane TikToks in particular that Robert Tolpe used as examples, because, they really are nuts.
And almost kidnapped at Walmart.
I was drugged and almost abducted. And the woman was the one who came up to me talking really fast, asking me if I wanted to smell the perfume from her new perfume business. Before you know it, this substance was on my arm. It smelled like perfume. It didn't burn. It was...
Oh, God, this is a funny one. Okay. All right, this is a funny one. You guys need to understand how much hysteria and fear porn is on TikTok.
Almost kidnapped at Walmart.
I was drugged and almost abducted. And the woman was the one who came up to me talking really fast, asking me if I wanted to smell the perfume from her new perfume business. Before you know it, this substance was on my arm. It smelled like perfume. It didn't burn. There was nothing weird about it. Nothing at all. I put my wrist up to my nose like this, and I guess by taking a regular inhale, because I did not sniff it, it went into my system by both my nose and through my skin. I instantly began to lose consciousness, so I started to walk backwards.
This is literally a 20-plus-year-old urban legend that will not die and has been debunked over and over again every single time someone posts a wild story on social media about it. Kidnappers do not pose as perfume salespeople to knock people out with some kind of drug. That literally does not happen.
Okay. There's more examples, and this video goes on a while longer. It's a very good video. Highly recommend it. But I think it is very important context going into this. TikTok has entire communities centered around scaring mostly young women into believing that any man who looks at them weird is a potential kidnapper, sex trafficker, and rapist, okay? And this goes beyond, the normal, level of fear that women typically have in public settings if there's, men around, which is, a pretty common thing, obviously. But, this is full on, believing you are being actively stalked and every guy is out to get you tier. It's very important to know this going in. So let's go ahead and watch the TikTok.
How to not approach girls at the gym.
I know it really means nothing, but I fucking hate everything about TikTok. I really do. And that includes those stupid fucking text-to-speech ones. The only good one is the old man sounding one. The old, drawn out Southern accent old man. I like that one a lot. That one's pretty funny. But just the everything from the text appearing on screen, everything about TikTok and its format makes my blood boil. It really does. What the fuck is that voice? It's funny, That's TikTok humor.
I hate this. I hate when there's weirdos. It's me so uncomfortable. Feral.
Holy shit, he's looking.
Fucking feral. There's mirrors.
I like how he totally hears her talking, by the way. There's absolutely no shot he doesn't hear her talking right now. For one, she's recording, both of them. So, he can probably see, there's a camera on me there. And there's also a lady talking to herself with headphones on and saying, feral. There are feral men in this gym. No, I think she's saying she wants to go feral. I've heard British people, particularly British women, say feral over and over again, and when they're angry, they want to go fucking feral. I've used it's I think that's British slang. I'm pretty certain it is. Any Britbongers in chat want to confirm or deny here? Using feral as self-referring to when you're getting angry, like a feral cat. No, she was talking about the guy, I think. I assure you that's a London thing. The rest of us don't speak like that. I'm pretty certain that's like some kind of British thing. I've heard that phrase used before in that same way. Anyway, he has looked twice. It is Zan, you're right. Good. I know the bongers well. I listen. You have to know your enemy, okay? You have to know your enemy.
Everywhere, so it's like you can easily catch people. Act. Oh, this is nothing.
Hey, shenanigans.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the 35s now. I want you to watch very carefully.
She's doing, but okay, listen. Not that like she doesn't deserve to be able to feel as the, or like not that she doesn't deserve to not be looked at like a piece of meat while doing exercise in the gym, but I will say, I do this exercise at home, or when the gym is empty. The fucking air thrusting exercise. That's the one I do when there's nobody around, because, like, how can you not stare at the person who's fucking the air? You know what I mean? Like, that's always been my perspective. I don't do that particular exercise unless I'm at home or the gym is empty. It's either, like, the end of the day or the very beginning of the day. It's like doing the time warp, but on your back. That is kind of true, yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the 35s now. I want you to watch very carefully.
All right, he looks again. Why is he staring so long? What the fuck? I almost wish there was like a timer on screen so you could see like the 0.85 seconds that he looked for. Yeah, the funny thing as well is that in a lot of these shots, it doesn't even look like he's looking in her direction. I can't really see his eyes, so he could be rubbernecking it, which is basically like, you know, like imagine the camera's a girl's ass, you know, basically doing this. Like, he could totally be rubbernecking. That's absolutely, you know, a possibility here. He doesn't even look like he's looking in that direction. He looks like he's looking out into the gym. She also mentioned there's a mirror in front of her, so, like, he could be looking at the mirror. Regardless, though, I'm not going to operate under the assumption that she's lying about her experience. Let's assume that each of these times he was in fact looking at her. Let's not do like the easy way out, like the meme, like he wasn't even looking. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, so we engage with this honestly, that what she saw was accurate, or at least from her perspective it was, and that she was actually being stared at, or at least felt as though she was. Because I think it is quite relevant that she might have felt like she was being stared at even if she wasn't, and that, you know, could affect the morality of what she did. Let's continue. She's putting new weights on the bar.
The 5 adds 5 pounds.
So this has been, you know, brought up by gym bros ad nauseum on Twitter and on TikTok, but for those of you guys who don't work out a lot, this is kind of difficult. Like it's actually pretty fucking hard to put weights onto the bar, like the first one in particular, because you have to lift the bar in order to like, and with one arm you gotta line them up and then push it in, and then like it's a whole thing, and it can be difficult. And I've never felt disrespected or felt bad when somebody offered to help me out, because yeah, like when you're lifting the bar, you're using both arms and the rest of your body to lift it. But in the case of putting the weights onto the bar, you're kind of like usually kneeling over it and having to almost like crane your elbow up to get like the proper height and elevation. And then you got to like move it around and like balance both. And it's a whole thing. It really helps to have an extra pair of hands. So he walks over and he helps her. He grabbed a wipe.
Excuse me? You don't have to do that. It's okay. No, it's okay. I got it. Thank you, though.
I will say... All right, we'll continue.
No, it's okay. I got it. Thank you, though.
Look at him wiping down his equipment. That's good etiquette. All right, we got to read these. Okay? Because we got some memes, okay? What if I just ripped his pee-pee out of its socket so he could never reproduce again? This is why I don't want kids. Natural selection better take these weirdos out. He's going to jail for staring at an underage 21-year-old. For those that don't know, TikTok users use underage and then person whose age is above 18 or number above 18 to refer to when a guy, usually a guy, is like has a problematic age gap with another adult. So even if it's two adults, they'll say if there's a problematic age gap, that person is dating an underage 21-year-old or 23-year-old or 25-year-old. It's their way of basically pedo-jacketing people who are not pedophiles because, as you can imagine, TikTok, being a fucking cesspit and hellscape, basically the only arguments most people on that platform have are basically to pedo-jacket each other all day. So yeah, is he even 30? I don't know. Anyway... they use it to refer to, like, being creepy as well. Just got back from the gym. What are we talking about? Oh, Turbo. Were you looking at any women while you were there? Did you perhaps glance across the gym with a panning motion and your eyes happened to just graze over a woman? I did, yeah. You're a fucking rapist. Did you know that? I'm just kidding. Okay. We're not going all the way down the meme rabbit hole here. Okay. Okay. Let's continue the video. I love you. Okay. I love you, Turbo. I love you. I'm really glad to hear that you're working out. Okay. All my fans are big and swole. Okay. Let's continue. I'm underage though. You're an underage 21-year-old. Finish him, Zan. Okay. Let's finish the video.
See what I mean? Alright, here we go. Let's go to the gym, girls. Let me go with some girlfriends. This is ridiculous. I gotta be careful. I gotta be fucking careful. Can't be too fucking... What part of me working out by myself looks like I'm a fucking dancer in distress? I'm not. I feel unsafe. I feel unsafe.
She didn't apply a clip to keep those weights in place, I noticed. Like, normally you would kind of, slide that over and then apply a clip so it doesn't, like one side doesn't get too weighted and then just kind of fall over and break your hip. Yeah, whoa. How has nobody called that out? Has nobody else called that out? No wonder he tried helping. Bro, wait. Okay, I will say it's really funny that she said, what part of me working out alone makes it look like I'm a damsel in distress, as she is actively engaging in a... Okay, it's definitely risky, but I don't know if it's a massive safety hazard, because I've never seen anybody not apply the clips, and I've never not applied the clips myself. It was just always like... I just always assume, yeah, that's what you do. You don't want the weights to fall off. I mean, they're not guaranteed to fall off as long as she keeps it perfectly horizontal. But if those things fucking slide or like tilt, if she can't keep that balance, they're going to slide and it's going to be loud and it's going to be a problem. And she might get kicked out of the gym. Not with this weird exercise. She's also using a pussy pad comforter. Also, this is really stupid. She could... What is a pussy pad? Oh, you mean like this thing? Yeah, I don't... I've never seen anyone use one of those for this exercise. It honestly looks like it'd break my back. Sometimes it's safer to put them on if you're benching heavy. That way, if you have to bail, you don't get trapped. That is true, but she's not going that heavy, is she? I mean, 35 pounds on either side, and this is probably like a little 5-pound. So 40 on either side. She's probably thrusting 80 right now. 80 pounds on either, or 40 on either side. So, yeah, she's probably thrusting 80 pounds. That would probably be a fair amount. Oh, they're just 2.35 pounders? Okay. I would have thought they're little 5-pounders. Yeah, the bar is 45. I forgot about the bar! Yeah, the bar is heavy. Forgot the bar is literally made out of steel. And also weighs stuff. Okay. Anyway, that video absolutely blew the fuck up, okay? The entire internet lost its shit. I mean, Look at the response to that exact clip that we looked at, the quote tweet, right? Saying, she's not even hot anyway. She probably wasn't even looking at you. She doesn't even look like she goes to the gym. And it's like, okay, so the immediate response to this was misogyny. All right. Let me give you guys my nuanced take, all right? Have you guys ever been out in public wearing headphones, listening to a song or a podcast or a YouTube video, and somebody had the audacity to come up to you and like try to get your attention in such a way you would have to take your headphones or earbuds off? It's happened to me. And for those of you guys that don't know, it's kind of a societal taboo. It's just not something you do. Headphones on basically means like headphones on or earbuds in basically means you are to be left to yourself, right? You are not interested in active human conversation and human contact. That is a very clear social signifier, and it is considered rude to just tap on anybody really, their shoulder while they're listening to something and try to start a conversation with them on their headphones, especially a stranger. As in this scenario, sunglasses are also a lot like that as well. Hats, too, can function that way, but not so much. Regardless, though, the headphones rule is one that I live by very strongly, and I hope that people respect it in regards to me as well. I've not had it respected or disrespected as in a long time, so yeah. Essentially, I think that in public, in a situation like that, generally speaking, what that guy did, approaching her and like butting into her business, was fairly rude. She had her headphones on and, was clearly doing her own thing. And I think it's pretty trashy as a guy to just approach women at the gym who are working out alone and to try to strike up conversation with them. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, but as someone who's been to gyms and who has talked to many women who go to gyms, the women who are at the gym know they're hot, and they know that guys there are looking at their ass. They know that guys there are looking at their boobs. They know that guys there want to fuck them. And they know there's a pretty much guaranteed chance if a guy talks to them at the gym, his end goal is to fuck. Just immediately. That is just an established, known thing in gym culture. All right? It is very rare for a guy to completely platonically just help a hot girl out with like a workout with no goal whatsoever of hooking up with her. That is like a goddamn gym archangel, okay? That is a gym archangel, I swear to God. With that said, I completely understand why in that situation, especially after he approached her, and to be clear, she made that TikTok and added all of like the little stare counter and like the little messages and everything after he approached her and she would have like gone home or been in her car or whatever. I have no doubt she felt uncomfortable from that interaction and uploaded that with the feeling as though she had, felt like she was in danger. Because from her perspective, she's got her headphones on. She's working out alone. She knows what, the gym culture is. I think she knows how it is. And she probably felt pretty unsafe. So with that said, a lot of conservatives responded to this, and a lot of like teenage incels respond to this by saying, noticed you have an OnlyFans, or I think it was, it was like one of those websites that has fans in the name. Notice you have an OnlyFans. So you don't like guys looking at you unless they pay you, and then like calling her a whore. And it just became very, very clear. I see what this is. We're seeing an instance of a woman who has no doubt probably been fed a lot of fear propaganda online, who had what would otherwise be a slightly uncomfortable encounter that would be forgotten about in seconds, that has basically been turned into, in her mind, a near escape from being raped or kidnapped because of the, as we saw before, the massive amount of TikTok fear porn prevailing these platforms. And then, of course, we have the fact that, the conservatives' immediate response to this is to harass the shit out of her because from their perspective, they think she's just trying to ruin this guy. And I will admit, what she did, recording this random guy, posting his face on the internet and making him out to be some kind of predator, was really shitty. Just objectively speaking, really shitty behavior. It really, really sets me off to see so many, like, clearly incel dudes and conservative, figureheads trying to turn this into some way of showing how women are, like, out there trying to destroy men for looking at them without paying, by the way, I guess is like the caveat when they bring up that she has like a OnlyFans or whatever, right? So anyway, following all of this, a couple days ago, she put out a tweet containing a twitlonger, and in that twitlonger is an apology. Unfortunately, this has been massively ratioed. It hasn't really gotten a lot of support, but I gave it a read already, and I honestly think it's a pretty good explanation of her position, and I think it's actually a pretty good apology, so let's give it a read. Oh, I would also like to say, I noticed in the video that he's actively wearing AirPods, whatever they're called, when he, like, asks to help her out. It didn't really look like he was there to strike up a conversation or ask for her number or hit on her. It seemed like he was probably actually genuinely trying to help her out, because if he was actually trying to start a conversation, he probably would have taken his headphones off or his earbuds out, so to make that possible. It seemed more like between workouts he was helping somebody out and he intended to immediately get back to working out. That's my read of the situation, but, as I said, that may not be her read. When you feel uncomfortable in a public situation, a public social situation, you're not always thinking logically. You're not always processing the information at your disposal in the most realistic way. If you're already primed to have a fear response at what's happening, you're likely to interpret small things that aren't an actual threat as a potential threat. Does that make sense to you guys? Let's read this apology. My gross mistake addressing the gym video. A lot of my content is lighthearted and humorous, but I want to start off by saying this is the most serious thing I have ever posted. First of all, I want to apologize sincerely to the man at the gym where this all started. He didn't do anything wrong to me, and I blew our interaction out of proportion. I know many people think I'm only apologizing because I got called out from the video I posted, and this is half right. If I wasn't called out for this video, I wouldn't have the chance to learn from this mistake or even realize I made a mistake to begin with. When I first posted the video, I felt I was completely in the right and felt I was making a good attempt to connect and relate to my female audience who may have dealt with uncomfortable situations at the gym. And now, after reading literally thousands of comments about me, the situation, and the man in question, it truly opened my eyes to how damaging this could have been for him. Men and women deal with very different problems in the realm of the opposite sex, and after looking through the lens of an innocent man put in a situation like that, it honestly made me feel sick to my stomach with guilt. How do you guys feel about this opening? Because I feel a couple of emotions. On one hand, this feels absurdly genuine. Like, particularly the fact that where she says, had she not been caught and called out for it, she probably would not have realized it was wrong and probably would never have apologized. And so it is right to call out, that detail. And she owns up to that. And I think that's a very strong opening. But the fact that it's so genuine now starts to make me wonder, like, God, I feel really, really bad now that the internet jumped down this woman's throat, harassing her and giving her shit for something that I do genuinely think she probably felt unsafe in that situation, was sharing with people, feeling as though she genuinely, had a really uncomfortable and dangerous encounter, potentially. People overreacted. Do you want to know why people overreacted? Do you want to know why people overreacted? Particularly men. Men are way more scared of being falsely accused of sexual assault or rape than women are afraid of being raped. It really is as simple as that. A lot of dudes feel as though they are literally on the edge of any woman who doesn't like them levying a false sexual assault allegation or a false rape allegation. They believe that this is a overwhelmingly common, as time goes by, phenomenon. This isn't born in reality, obviously. There is nothing to genuinely gain from levying a false rape accusation. Even if everybody believes you, which is a stretch, even if everyone believes you, what do you end up known as? What clout do you get? What profit do you get? At best, you end up being known as the person who was victimized by blank, right? There's no clout or wealth or anything to gain from it. But from the perspective of a man, all they see is like Me Too encouraging women who have been victimized to come forward, or just victims in general to come forward, and they see that as praise. They see that as women being rewarded for ruining men's lives. And it really doesn't help that a lot of these guys, well, let's just say it's convenient for them to believe that most of these allegations are untrue. I mean, the evidence against Andrew Tate that we have access to as the public, that he is guilty of the crimes that he is currently in jail for, are ridiculous. Just ridiculous. He's literally admitted and explained how he would sex traffic the women live for his channel, bragging about it. He's bragged about his, like, criminal connections and whatnot. And yet, his fans continue to defend him to the death. They're in a cult over it. It's because they want to live in a more convenient reality. It's very worrying. Before writing this, I was posting whatever made me feel justified for the video, which was wrong on my part, and I am extremely immature for doing so and trying to make light of a situation that is a lot more serious and should be taken that way. I've suffered from sexual assault and sexual harassment prior to this situation, and in the past, these events were extremely damaging to me. That also adds a lot of important context to this interaction. After speaking with friends that were honest with me, I was able to keep an open and understanding mind. It took literally thousands of people displaying their distaste for the way I acted for me to realize this in full effect. Because the man at the gym did nothing damaging to me and I still felt threatened in the situation, I reacted by trying to cope with it, probably the worst way possible. My past isn't an excuse or a justification for what I did, but it is something I want to personally and professionally address with a therapist in the future, because I don't want to and will never hurt anyone ever again in this way. The jokes I included in the TikTok were far from tasteful and funny. I look back at that video now and cringe that it even got posted. Again, because of the wake-up call given to me by mainly Joey Swole. Oh yeah, Joey Swole is a TikToker, big old gym bro guy who makes pretty, from what I can tell, pretty wholesome content, pretty good takes generally. And was one of the very few people in like the sphere of this area calling her out that did not do it in a toxic, reactionary manner. I think it's important to call people out on their mistakes and, in the words of Joey, help them quote unquote do better. This is exactly what I plan to do, not just my content, but my life moving forward. Now, this is already becoming a lot to read, and honestly, I considered making a video to help convey my sincerity for what I'm saying, but I also want to prove this isn't a publicity stunt or a way to farm clicks, so I feel like this is the best way to express what I'm doing to move forward. So I'm declining to remove the videos off of all my platforms because I don't want this misconception. Some people might think this is a way of me hiding the video or sweeping it under the rug, but this text isn't going anywhere. I eventually decided that there's no real combination of words I could put together to gain the trust of my community and the people who are just discovering me in the worst way possible. With my 600k followers on TikTok and as an influencer, I hold a lot of responsibility to use my platform in a way that spreads love and happiness, which I did the exact opposite of. I'm sorry to the men and women who deal with or have dealt with false/true allegations of SA or sexual harassment. Who have dealt with false/true allegations. Wait, what? Wait, why is she sorry to the people who've dealt with true allegations of sexual assault and sexual harassment? And if I made their situations feel belittled by mine, I apologize to my I assume she meant like the people who have been victimized. I think that's what she meant to type. I think that was a typo. I think that came out wrong. I love making content and sharing experiences with my community and the people in general, and I hope I'm able to grow. To show growth not only in a few days and weeks, but the months and years as I continue to be able to do what I love. This will be an ugly scar on my character for a long time until I can show that I am growing. I just hope people give me the chance to. So truly, I am sorry, and I will not just say that. I am sorry like it's going to fix everything. I'm going to show and prove to everyone that this is not who I am and this is not who I'm going to continue to be. Mistakes help me grow, and I am willing to learn and take people's constructive criticism where it is needed. In hopes of moving on after this situation, I will no longer be discussing the topic any further. Along with that, I will be taking a break from social media until I am in the right mental space to keep making content. Thank you for reading. I love you all. P.S. I don't have an OnlyFans. I have a fan house, which is safe for work website where I connect with my supporters. Oh, holy crap. She doesn't even have like an OnlyFans? She doesn't do sex work? Who would have thought? Incels and right-wingers spreading misinformation so that they can try to justify calling women whores? Unthinkable. Absolutely unthinkable. So basically, a whole lot of misinformation, lies, and hatred were spread in all of this, and I think it's very clear for you guys to remember, in any situation like this that happens, no matter, like, how bad the person who, the right wants you to think looks bad in the situation is, chances are there's probably a lot of lies being spread about it, because the right just has a huge habit of just misconstruing and lying about these things to support narratives that they want to build about things like this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. It really does help out my videos a lot, including if you leave a comment down below, as well as subscribing and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications and everything. Helps out my channel a whole fucking lot. And of course, if you want to follow my social medias, they're all linked down below in the description. And you can also support me financially by donating, subscribing, gifting a sub, or, by hitting one of those two buttons up there, or supporting me financially on YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or Patreon. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.